Okay. So, good morning, almost good afternoon, everyone. Dear Kadar family members that are here, and the ones that are joining us online, distinguished awardees and their families, governors, colleagues, students, and guests. We are gathered here to celebrate excellence in science and teaching at Tel Aviv University. But this award is predominantly for research. So I would like to invite Nadav Kadar to speak on behalf of the Naomi Foundation and the Kadar family. But before that, I'll tell you that Nadav is an entrepreneur and an investor, a profound graduate of Tel Aviv University MBA program. He's also a philanthropist and sits on the board of the Naomi Foundation. Nadav, please come. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. President Porat, Professor Hennis, and distinguished governors, esteemed guests, it's a true honor to be here today. I would like to express my thanks to the selection committee, who are tasked with the challenging but rewarding responsibility of selecting the recipients of the Kadar Family Award. I would like to acknowledge the individuals who worked tirelessly to make this event possible, including Dana Verona and Rava Elasari. My family and I founded the Naomi Foundation in memory of my mother, Naomi Power Kadar, Zichronah Levracha, who dedicated her life to education, scholarship. She taught Yiddish at various institutions of higher learning worldwide, including the International Yiddish Summer Program at Tel Aviv University, which now bears her name. The Naomi Foundation is committed to promoting innovation in education, and we're proud to support Tel Aviv University, which we view as a center of innovation. In addition to the Naomi Power Kadar Yiddish program, we support scholarships for the MD PhD students, and of course, the groundbreaking research through this scholarship. Recognized by his peer students and the selection committee, the Kadar Award recipients have achieved their highest levels of distinction in their fields. But it's not just their accomplishments we're celebrating today. We are celebrating their spirit, their vision, their pursuit of excellence. Because in that spirit, that sets us apart and drives them to push beyond what is previously thought possible. And to the recipients, your work is inspiring, and your accomplishments remind us of the limitless potential within each of us. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Nadav, and thank you, the Kadar family. Now I want to invite Professor Ariel Porat, President of Tel Aviv University, to say a few words.
Can you hear me? Because nobody could see me from here, so let's do it this way. Maybe there is a way to קצת להוריד את האורות? שאני אראה את הקהל? זהו, עכשיו זה טוב. Okay, thank you very much. So I really love this occasion every year. First of all, because it's a very prestigious award that we give to the most impressive and great researchers at the university, both scientists from the what we call the east side and the west side of the campus, which is the core sciences, and on the other end, humanities, social sciences, law, and management and arts. You know, I want to tell you a story. Actually, I've told it a few years ago, but since it's a kind of an interesting story, and I trust that some of you have forgotten it from a few years ago, I want to tell it again. So excuse me for those who have good memories. So maybe a couple of months after I entered office 4 years ago, one of my first trips was, of course, to New York. And, well, was it New York? Yeah, I think it was in New York when I've met most of the family. So I think that you were there too, Nadav. Of course, your father, Avraham Kadar. And there are also two sisters, Einat and Maya. This is the Kadar family, and of course, Michal and the late Nomi. And you know, when you meet for the first time a donor or potential donor, you introduce yourself and like briefly, yeah, my name is Ariel, I'm a law professor, I'm a new president, and then you talk about your donor. People like to talk about themselves most of the time, right? That's what was a very impressive part of this specific occasion was that Avraham said to me, okay, so what exactly you do? Law professor, okay, what's your, say I'm law and economics. Say, what is law and economics? Could you give an example? Now there is no question, right, that we scientists and researchers like more than tell us about your academic work. Even today, after 4 years, if you want to make me happy, ask me about my academic work. And then I presented a paper that I published a few years earlier. And then there was a fantastic workshop in the room. Avraham and his family asked excellent questions. This was so enjoyable and something that I cannot forget. It shows also something about Avraham. He was the one who moderated the discussion, but I think about the entire family. Now, I know from that time I have met Avraham numerous times. Whenever he's in Israel, we meet, and he is used to visit in Israel quite often. And he became not only a friend, but a kind of a secret advisor of mine, you know, and I have a kind of a delicate issues. And so there are very few people, Alfred Akirov, by the way, is one of them, and there are some others, but that I trust very much. I trust their wisdom, their experience, also sometimes their confidentiality. And I never regretted talking to your father, Nadav, and listening to him and learning from him. Now, Avraham, to those of you who do not know, he started his career as a doctor, as a physicist, as a pediatrician, and as an immunologist. And you know this movie Sliding Doors, and right? So I wonder what would have happened if he had stayed as a doctor. I'm sure he would be a terrific success also in this field, but Avraham decided at a certain point to switch to a completely different area. And from that time, you know, when he decided to switch to another job, he worked on educational softwares. Actually, generally, the idea started with making science, and later not only science, but also social sciences, etc., accessible to high school students. And it was a huge success, right? BrainPop, right? That's the name of the firm that the family owned and sold recently, or I think less than a year ago, with great success. And so Avraham just changed his route in life and was very, very successful. I'm sure if he had chosen to keep his job, I think it was in Sheba, right? I'm sure that the world of medicine and life science would have been enriched. So this is about sliding doors. Who knows what would be the alternative career, but definitely the one he chose was a very successful one. Now, Avraham, Yossi Klafter, my predecessor, is here. He was the one that, together with Avraham Kadar, established the Kadar Prize. Yossi, I don't know if you remember, but I was among the first committee members that you appointed, or I think also with Yoav Hennis. He added the first committee. And I can tell you that this is really a very, very serious committee. I wanted to say the best researchers in the university are members in that committee, but how can I say it since I was a member? But really, it's a very prestigious committee. And the selection process is also very thorough and very, very serious. And it's a great honor to be selected by the committee. Now, for those of you who don't know, let me say a couple of words about how exactly it works. So generally, every year, there are 4 recipients, 2 junior faculty and 2 senior faculty. 1 senior faculty from the East. As I said, East, these are the core sciences, and 1 from the West. And same thing with so this is with the seniors, same thing with the juniors. So the people sitting here are the top of the scientists and the researchers that we have at the university. Some of them I know very well. Obviously, the more senior one, Marek, for example, is Marek Karliner, is a physicist, top physicist. I'm very glad that Marek has been selected. I can tell you, even though I don't consider myself to be an expert in your field, but from time to time you privilege me with reading, well, not your papers, but from time to time I look at kind of more popular writings about physics and also your field. And Professor Ron Haris is not here with us. Actually, it has an excellent excuse. Now, there is a wedding of his son, so this is an excuse not to attend. He has tried to do his best to reschedule, but it was impossible. So he is a good friend of mine. He was the dean of the law school, top scholar. So he's another recipient that, as I said, won't be here today. And Adi and Uri are the junior recipients. I haven't known them personally, but I've checked about them, like about their research. I can tell you they deserve the prize as the 2 senior recipients. So I'm very much looking forward to the next part of the ceremony, that when we'll be able to learn a little bit more about what you do in your research. Congratulations, it's a big honor. And thank you, Nadav, as a representative of the family. But before concluding, I should mention, even though it has been already mentioned, I think by you, that the Kadar family, well, there is a foundation named after Naomi, your mother, your late mother, and that foundation supported for quite a long time, actually still supporting the Yiddish program, international Yiddish program that we have at the university. Now, there is a recent donation of the family that took place a few months ago, and we are very grateful for you also for that. It's a donation for scholarships or fellowships of MD, PhD students. MD, PhD, those are doctors who also do research, which is extremely important to increase the number of such students at our Faculty of Medicine. So this is a new donation. This is a way also from Avraham Kadar, to return to his origins, which after all, it's in medicine, in Sheba. So thank you, Nadav. Thank you, Avraham and the entire family that are not here with us today, but all of them are very well connected. If I forgot to say, I should say that all the 3 children are also alumni of Tel Aviv University. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think I have a feeling who will host you next year. Okay, so thank you, Professor Porat. And now, the 4 Kadar Awards, as Professor Porat already mentioned, are given out in the following orders. 2 for senior faculty members, 1 for each side of the campus, meaning 1 from engineering, exact science, medicine, or life sciences, and 1 for humanities, management, law, social sciences, or arts. In addition, 2 awards are given to junior faculty according to the same principle. And it's always a very interesting task to try and really choose the best of the best because, you know, each year we receive a lot of applications. This year was no different than any other year. And this is a good time to thank the committee as well that worked hard in the selection committee to really choose the best that we can. And it's not an easy task, as I mentioned. So let's start with our first awardee, Professor Marek Karliner. And before you'll see some movie about his work, Marek Karliner was born in Poland in '55 and arrived in Israel in 1969. He received his B Science in physics in 1979 and his PhD in 1984, both from Tel Aviv University. As a graduate student, he spent 1 year at Stanford University as a Fulbright Fellow. Between 1984 and 1988, he was a Chaim Weizmann postdoctoral fellow and then a research associate at Stanford Linear Accelerator Center. In 1988, the Higher Education Council of Israel awarded him the Alon Fellowship for outstanding junior faculty, and subsequently he joined Tau School of Physics and Astronomy as a senior lecturer. At Tau, Professor Karliner has been a professor of physics since 1995, served as the chairman of Particle Physics Department from 2006 to 2010, and the chairman of the Raymond and Beverly Sackler Institute of Theoretical Physics from 2010 to 2015. Between 2003 to 2005, he was a visiting professor at the Cavendish Laboratory, University of Cambridge, England. Professor Karliner researches in the field of theoretical physics of elementary particles. And he will explain to you later what it does it mean, and you will be given a small quiz at the end. And the best of the best will have lunch. Okay. He's the incubator of the Edward and Francis Jupart Chair of Theoretical Physics of Particles and Fields. And since 2015, he's been the director of the Mortimer and Raymond Sackler Institute for Advanced Studies. And since 2017, he has been a foreign member of the Polish Academy of Arts and Science. His research includes several theoretical predictions for subatomic particles, subsequently confirmed by experimental work at CERN and in US, China, and Japan. As of 2021, Professor Karliner serves as the chairman of the Israel Committee of Higher Energy Physics and ex officio scientific representative of Israel in the CERN Council. Now, he has an unusual hobby. He collects old address books, business directories, and phone books of Poland from the period before World War II. There are quite a few of them, covering the entire country in considerable detail, down to the smallest harmless. They provide a very detailed snapshot of the vibrant Jewish community in Poland before the Holocaust. And I want to first invite you all to watch a short movie about his work.
Particle physics, specifically protons and neutrons, components of all atomic nuclei, and of course, the tiny building blocks of protons and neutrons themselves. When analyzing something small, you enlarge it. The smaller the particle, the bigger the enlargement tool. You use an undefined glass to examine colony. You use a microscope to look at bacteria, and an electron microscope to watch a virus and to observe pores. The microscope we use is the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider at CERN in Switzerland and France, which is 27 kilometers in circumference and 100 meters underground. The focal point of the LHC microscope at CERN is the Atlas particle detector, a giant electronic camera that records what happens when we smash protons together at very high energy. We try to reproduce conditions in the early universe, a split second after the Big Bang, to understand how the universe developed. In my research, I study how quarks bind together. A proton is made of 3 quarks. Other common particles contain a quark and an antiquark. I focus on unusual combinations of quarks. In recent years, physicists have discovered new unusual groupings, 2 quarks and 2 antiquarks, 4 quarks and 1 antiquark at pentaquark. I predict which unusual combinations exist and what their properties are. A recent prediction of a new pentaquark's properties turned out to be very accurate when it was confirmed by experiments in the OS. By studying such exotic combinations, we enhance our understanding of the strong nuclear force, which is responsible for 99.95% of the visible universe's mass. Where does such research lead us? We basic scientists are driven by curiosity. We don't know what we will discover, but hundreds of years of experience have taught us that basic science becomes extremely applied later on. It is the foundation of German breakthroughs and modern inventions that have transformed our economies. Electricity, nuclear energy, medical imaging, communication, agricultural innovation, weather prediction, it all stems from basic physics research. At Tel Aviv University, we carry out some basic research aimed at comprehending fundamental forces of nature.
So I invite Marek and President Porat.
So let me read it for you. This is to witness that on the 19th day of May 2023, Professor Marek, Karliner, Raymond and Beverly Sackler School of Physics and Astronomy, Sackler Faculty of Exact Sciences, received the Kadar Family Award for Outstanding Research donated by the Naomi Prower Kadar Foundation in recognition of his exceptional research and teaching achievements, which serve as a model for the global academic community.
Okay, our next awardee is Professor Ron Haris from the Buchmann Faculty of Law. And as President Porat says he has an excuse. So Ron Haris is the Kalman Lubovsky Professor of Law and History and former Dean at the Faculty of Law in Tel Aviv University. His main research field is in the history of business cooperation. He studies the business cooperation in Britain and comparatively in the wider context of legal and economic history, the history of industrialization, capitalization, colonialization, and globalization, and moreization. Okay? He also works on the history of other forms of business organization, partnership, comendia, and other legal economic institution, contract, property rights, etc. His additional research interests include the methodology of legal economic history, the history and policy of bankruptcy, would be very relevant, and consumer credit and Israeli legal history. He earned an LLB and BA and MA in history from Tel Aviv University and a PhD in history from Columbia University. Professor Harris was a fellow at the Institute of Advanced Study in Behavioral Sciences at Stanford University. He was a visiting professor at UC Berkeley, USC, Cornell University, École Normale Supérieure in Paris, London School of Economics, probably I missed a few, and HEC Business School in Paris, and he also spent extended research periods as a visiting fellow in Oxford. Professor Harris is a co-founder of the Israeli Legal History Association, an honorary fellow of the American Society for Legal History, and the president of the Economic History Association of Israel. He's an author of 3 books, and he's a very vibrant researcher. He's an editor of 2 other books, and an author and co-author on numerous papers, articles in economics, business, history, and law journals. He's currently working on a book project on the comparative history of private companies in France, Germany, Britain, and the US, with a bunch of very distinguished scholars. So we're gonna see a short movie about his work, and I will then invite the Dean of the Buchmann of Law, Professor Ishai Blank, to receive the award on behalf of Professor Ron Harris. Thank
Until 1600, business mostly stemmed from personal ties in family firms, guilds, and nations. In a recent book, Joint Business has helped research shifted to impersonal and voluntary structures. Necessity leads to innovation. Around 1600, the English and Dutch joined the young conversion trade. But as they were far from the greatest nations, disadvantaged relative to the Portuguese, Arab, Indians, and Chinese, already conducting expensive sea-based trade voyages, they had to get creative fast. However, they announced large-scale, long-term, high-risk shipping experiments. My answer, based on original historical research and theoretical experimental data, is that 2 nations merged 2 existing concepts in the city markets. My argument is that this voluntary business corporation for many hundreds of thousands of investors no longer limited to family members of the communities. This proposition was so attractive and successful that the European governments were very in the center of the corporation as a foremost financial organization of structure and master means beyond trade from finance to transportation, industry to communication. How essential is the Dutch corporation for the future? Let's look at China program. I believe any discussion on China realizes its potential as a global economic superpower must rather with the implications of the dominantly state-owned businesses and their ability to develop tribal and voluntary shareholder-based structures. I know features I may so the corporation should be full effective across numerous sectors for the past 420 years.
Okay, so Ishai, Professor Blanc, and Professor Porat, his approach.
This is to witness that on the 19th day of May 2023, Professor Ron Harris, Buchmann Faculty of Law, received the Kadar Family Award for Outstanding Research donated by the Naomi Prower Kadar Foundation in recognition of his exceptional research and teaching achievements, which serve as a model for the global academic community. And Mazel Tov for Ron Harris. I don't know why he preferred to go to his to the wedding and not to come to this event, but
I'll tell him.
You know, people have different
Weird
preferences. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now we are moving to our junior faculty members. So Dr. Uri Ben David, who is now Professor Uri Ben David, just completed his B Science and his PhD, summa cum laude, at the Hebrew University, nobody's perfect, okay, where he studied stem cell biology under the supervision of Professor Nissim Ben-Benisti. He then became a postdoctoral fellow at the Broad Institute of Harvard and MIT, where he studied cancer genetics with Professor Todd Golub. He joined Tel Aviv University as a group leader in 2019. Professor Ben David's research laboratory focuses on fundamental understudied trait of cancer called aneuploidy, a change in the number of chromosomes in cancer cells. The lab applies a variety of experimental and computational approaches to decipher the biological processes that underlie this phenomenon, and develops novel strategies to exploit this unique trait in order to target cancer cells and eliminate tumors. His lab studies the processes that leads to aneuploidy in cancer, the contribution of aneuploidity to tumors formation and progression, and the cellular vulnerabilities of those cells. By uncovering the basic biology underlying this unique trait, Professor Ben David's lab aspires to expand the understanding of genetic bases of cancer and to open new avenues for personalized cancer treatments. Professor Ben David is the author of many papers, peer-reviewed papers that were published in prestigious scientific journals, and his work was cited over 7,000 times already. In 2018, a seminal study that he led was published on the cover of the journal Nature. In 2020, he led another important study that was published on the cover of the journal Nature Genetics. And in 2021, a groundbreaking study from his own lab was published in the journal Nature. So he likes the journal Nature. Okay. So Professor Ben David currently leads the group of 15 staff scientists and students. Through his training, Professor Ben David received numerous prestigious among them the Clore Doctoral Fellowship, the Dan David Scholar Award, the American Society of Cell Biology, Kauluza Award for Outstanding PhD Thesis, and the European Molecular Biology Organization, the Rothschild, and Human Frontiers Science Program postdoctoral fellowships. As an independent investigator, he is the recipient of the lucrative ERC starting grant, the Azrieli Junior Faculty Fellowship, as well as multiple additional competitive research grants. He's married and a father, proud father to twins that are 7.5 years old, Geffen and Lanir. Okay, excellent. So let's see a short movie about his work.
Treating cancer cells is easy. The difficult part, not harming normal cells in the process. To that end, we must understand the biological differences between cancer and normal cells. One such fundamental difference is the chromosome position. All normal cells in our body contain two sets of 23 chromosomes. One of them is biological term, 46 chromosomes. In contrast, cancer cells contain abnormal numbers, either more or fewer than 46. This phenomenon is called aneuploidy, and has been known as the problem of human cancer for over a century. And yet, we know very little about how aneuploidy promotes cancer development and progression, and we still lack drugs leveraging this fundamental difference to treat cancer. My lab applies experimental computational approaches to address these challenges. We try to understand the causes and consequences of aneuploidy and develop strategies to selectively treat cancer cells by targeting aneuploidy. In a recent study, we mapped the aneuploidy landscapes of about 1,000 human cells. Then, we compared the weaknesses of the most released aneuploid cells to identify where they might be the most vulnerable to drugs or genetic therapy. Among other findings, we identified a specific protein, P18A, that we find to be indispensable in normal cells, but essential in aneuploid cells. Then, we showed why, biologically, aneuploid cells are more sensitive to our inhibiting P18A, and in this way, we can treat cancer. We published this work in the journal Nature in 2021. In parallel to our work, two pharmaceutical companies developed P18A inhibiting drugs, but didn't know which patients these drugs should be fired. Following our work, I met with colleagues who reached similar conclusions. They decided to test their drugs on patients with the most aneuploid human drugs. It's exciting our work has already affected clinical trial design, and we hope our findings can help with these patients. This is just the tip of the iceberg, though. The more we understand aneuploidy, the more we can harness this basic cancer change to benefit patients. The future of cancer treatment lies in precision cancer medicine, and aneuploidy is poised to play a major role in its future.
Okay, so President Porat, Professor Ben David.
This is to witness that on the 19th day of May 2023, Dr. Uri Ben David, actually Professor Uri Ben David, Department of Human Molecular Genetics and Biochemistry, Sackler Faculty of Medicine, received the Kadar Family Award for Outstanding Research donated by the Naomi Praver Kadar Foundation in recognition of his exceptional research and teaching achievements, which serve as a model for the global academic community.
Okay. Our last awardee is Dr. Ella Daniel. She's a senior lecturer at the Department of School Counseling and Special Education at Tel Aviv University. She received her PhD at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, same joke, okay? And was a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Toronto. She's currently an academic visitor at the University of Oxford. Dr. Daniel is a developmental psychologist focusing on the development of values and pro-social behavior across the lifespan and specifically among children and adolescents. She's also studying the role of social environment, such as family, social media, and of course everything in the context of development. So let's watch Dr. Daniel's short movie. Okay, I should have seen this 20-something years ago. So I invite Dr. Daniel, Professor Porat.
This is to witness that on the 19th day of May 2023, Dr. Ella Daniel, James and John Constantiner School of Education, and in Faculty of Humanities, received the Kadar Family Award for Outstanding Research donated by the Naomi Praver Kadar Foundation in recognition of her exceptional research and teaching achievements, which serve as a model for the global academic community.
Okay. So now I would like to invite Professor Marek Karliner to the podium to speak on behalf of this year's recipient.
President Porat, Kadar family, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow laureates, it is with immense pleasure and gratitude that I stand before you today, humbled by the honor of representing the exceptional individuals who have been bestowed with the prestigious Kadar Prize. On behalf of all the laureates, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to the Naomi Foundation, to the selection committee, and everyone involved in making this remarkable recognition a reality. Receiving the Kadar Prize is a testament to the dedication, perseverance, and groundbreaking contributions of each laureate in their respective fields. We stand here as representatives of diverse domains, united by our shared commitment to advancing knowledge, fostering innovation, and addressing the pressing challenges of our time. The prize is very important to each of us, being a tangible expression of the peer recognition they convey. I would like to express our deep gratitude to the Naomi Foundation for their unwavering support in promoting excellence and recognizing the transformative power of ideas. Their commitment to nurturing talent at Tel Aviv University and providing a platform for intellectual growth has been instrumental in inspiring breakthroughs that push the boundaries of human achievement. To our families, friends, mentors, and colleagues who have supported us throughout this remarkable journey, we owe you an immeasurable debt of gratitude. Your encouragement, guidance, and belief in our abilities have been the foundation upon which we built our successes. This achievement would not have been possible without your unwavering faith in our potential. Moreover, we are indebted to the university and to our research communities that have nurtured our growth and provided fertile ground for our ideas to flourish. It is through collaboration, dialogue, and the exchange of knowledge that we have been able to make significant strides towards a better future. We recognize that our work is interconnected and deeply intertwined with the collective efforts of countless individuals striving for progress. The Kadar Prize not only recognizes our past accomplishments, but also imparts upon us a responsibility for the future. As laureates, we stand at the vanguard of innovation, entrusted with the task of using our knowledge to create positive change in the world. Let us be inspired by this recognition to continue pushing boundaries, challenging assumptions, and seeking solutions to the most pressing issues facing humanity. Finally, to my fellow laureates, I offer my heartfelt congratulations. Your exceptional work has transformed our understanding of the world and holds the promise of a brighter future. Let us continue to collaborate, inspire one another, and drive progress together. Together, we can achieve even greater heights and leave an indelible mark on the tapestry of human knowledge. Thank you.
Okay, so I would like to thank all of you for attending. And again, I would like to thank the Kadar family for their long-standing support and for the vision in establishing this prestigious award. I hope I'll see you here next year with exciting and talented faculty members from Tel Aviv University. Thank you.